Hi, welcome back. Facebook, that's the topic of this video. What we'll specifically do in this video is we're going to access data from Facebook profiles via Python. And we're going to do that using the official Facebook API. So you are going to learn how to use the Facebook API from within Python so that you can batch access data from profiles, such as getting their photos and videos and posts, accessing comments. But this is not about hacking, so we're not going to access data for which we don't have permission. For example, if we get photos from a Facebook account, we can only get those photos if those are public or our account and that account are connected as friends, and those photos are visible to friends only. So again, this is the official Facebook API. That means everything is done according to the rules. The benefit is that with Python, then you can create your own apps by accessing Facebook data, and then you can use those data as you wish in your Python program. So get ready and let's do this. The requirement for this is naturally a Facebook account. So you should have a Facebook account, and so you should be logged into that account in your browser and then Google Facebook developer. And then click the first results, which should take you to developers.facebook.com. What we'll do here is we will create a developer account for Facebook. So that allows us to access Facebook data programmatically. So using the Facebook API. So once you go to that page, go to Get Started. And then you want to follow this process where you want to register as a developer. You do need to enter a phone number in here. In this step, I need to enter my phone number, so please do that as well. It's a requirement to have a Facebook developer account. So I enter my phone number, I receive a code through an SMS. I enter that code to the form in here. So I verified my phone number, and then I also confirmed my email address as the form asked me to do. Now we are at this step here. So which of the following describes you well, developer? So press on complete registration then. And that should take us to this page. So now we need to create an app. So this is how it works with Facebook. Anytime you want to do something, it means you want to build an app for Facebook. And that's what we're doing. So we want to access some photos or posts or comments from a Facebook profile which we have access to. So create an app. I'll choose none here. This is mostly for Facebook statistics. They want to know what you're using these things for. So for display name, put something. Or that's app, for example. And then that's the email address. And then press on create app. Re-enter your Facebook password. So this is a password of your Facebook account. And that should take us to this dashboard of our app. So you see Ardit's app is selected in here. Those are all the settings of my app. The next thing we want to do now is to create an access token. So go over to this header. So click there to go to the very home page in here, and then go to more. And then go to Tools, and then go to Graph API Explorer. So Graph API is the name of the Facebook official API. That should take you to this web page. Now, make sure that in here, under Facebook app, your app is selected. So Ardit's app is the name of the app that I created a minute ago. And then you want to generate an access token. So press on generate access token, and then you want to give access permission to your app. So Facebook is making sure that you as the owner of your Facebook account are giving permission to this Ardits app, new app. Now, we do get this message here, which is a security feature of Facebook. So because my Facebook account is new, I just created this account exclusively for this lecture. I didn't want to use my main Facebook account. So this new Facebook account, which was created just 10 minutes ago, cannot work with new applications. So I need to wait 60 minutes and then I can go back here and generate that access token. So if you also have just created your Facebook account, then you also need to wait, so maybe do some other videos in the course. Otherwise, just continue and follow this video. 60 minutes have passed, so now I have access to the Graph API Explorer interface. So what is this and what can we do here? Well, this is the interface, the graphical interface that we can use to interact with the Graph API Explorer of Facebook. So using this interface is one way to interact with the API. Another way is to use Python. But this interface gives us some key data that we need, and then we can switch to Python. So let's explore this interface first. What do we have here? Well, we have the access token. This one in here. You can press that button to copy it and put it in your Python script. I'll do that later. For now, it's important to know that you need to be careful with this access token where you put it, especially if this is your main Facebook account. For me, this is just a throwaway account, so it's just Pythonist how I just created this, as I told you, so I'm not going to worry much about that. And then down here you have the app that we created, the API app, so Ardits app in my case. Now this indicates if you're working with a user account or a page. So we have Facebook pages and we have user accounts. Here we are working on Facebook user accounts. So this should be user token here, and then we have permissions. So currently we only have permission to the public profile of this user account, Pythonist how in my case. That means the API can only access posts and photos which are public. For example, in this post in here, it's not public, this is shared only with friends. Therefore, with this permission we cannot access that post. Therefore, what we want to do here is search for user posts and press that. And also you want to give access to photos, so user photos as well. And leave them there. Once you have done that, then you need to press again on generate access token so that you get a new token for those permissions, right? Now you see that these are not green anymore, so they have been added to permissions, and this is a new token. So that's the new token you need to use now if you want to access user photos and user posts. That token is different from the previous one, so you can discard the previous token, don't use it. Then we jump into this area here. Let me zoom in. We have this URL, me question mark fields equal ID comma name, and I'm going to press submit. So what I did now is I performed a query to the API and we got back some data. What is this? Well, we have the ID and we have the name. The ID is the user ID of my Facebook account, so of Pythonist how. And then this is a name that that user account has. In your case, it could be your Facebook name and surname, whatever you have in your Facebook profile name. So we just queried some data with this query, but we did that through this interface. So how can we do the same via Python? Well, to do the same via Python, you need to go down here to get code. Press that, and then you have different tabs here. So you have JavaScript implementation of this, but what we need to do is go to CURL and then copy that entire thing. So right click copy or Control C, and then go to Python. And I'm going to import requests first. That's the Python third-party library that allows you now to make a request to the Graph API Explorer. So in the case of the interface, this interface makes a request to the API. In this case, we want to make requests through this requests library from Python. And then construct the URL you want to request, remove that part and leave only the double quote followed by HTTPS, graph, etc. and it closes with a double quote. So that's a Python string now. And then we do response equal to requests dot get, and we enter that URL in there. And then we print out response dot content and run. Request is going to be installed on my REPL because it was not installed, and we should be seeing the results in just a bit. Yeah, so that's the results. It's the same data that we got in here. Now, just one thing, you see this B here, which means this is a byte string. So if you want to get a plain string, you want to say text here instead of content. Run again, and then you should get a plain string, not B in front. So what's going on is, well, in here you have this access token, and this access token is fetched automatically by this interface. In Python though, when you copy that CURL code, what we copy is, we also copy the access token. So you see this part here, access token is equal to the actual access token, which you find also in here. So that means access token now is included in here. That's my access token. And then we have this other part until here. So that's the base URL of the Graph API, graph.facebook.com v13.0, and then we have this part, me question mark fields is equal to ID, and we have this %20, which means a empty space, a white space, and then we have name. So that is the same as we see in here, more or less the same, although the commas are white spaces in here. So let me explain you what this means. Well, me is the equivalent of placing this ID. So this is your unique ID of your Facebook user account. So even if I place that ID instead of me in here and I run, I will get the same result. So that's the standard URL. And you can do the same in here. So you can place that ID instead of me, and then followed by question mark, submit, and you get the same results. So after the question mark, then we have the query. What fields do we need from this user account? Well, we need the ID and we need the name. And if we add posts, as I just did, it gives us also the information about posts. So let's see what we've got here. So we have ID as the key of this dictionary, we have name as another key, so each key has its own value. Pythonist how is the value of name, and then we have the posts key. So posts has as a value this dictionary. And so this is a dictionary which has another key, data, and data has as value this list, and this list has other dictionaries. So this is one dictionary, it starts here, it ends in here, and this dictionary contains one post, so it represents one Facebook post. On my user account here, I have two posts. This is my first post on Facebook, and it has this comment, and that's another post. So two posts. And here as well we get these two posts. So one here, you see, This is my second post, and then we have this other one in here. This is my first post, and then each post has an ID. Let me expand this a bit. So that's the ID of the post. Now you'd ask, what are these other things? So we have two posts, and then we have this other dictionary here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. What these are is photos. So I have 4 photos here on my Facebook profile. It's 1, 2. This is the Facebook main picture. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 actually, without the tiger. And that's what we have in here. Now let's repeat the same query in Python. So again, get code, go to curl and copy that entirely, go to Python, in the URL, paste that, clean it out, run, and we should get the same dictionary in here. So that's the dictionary. It's the same one with this in here. Next, how can we get one single post? We have multiple posts here. How can we get just one? Or how can we get one single photo? Let me show you that now. What you do is you need the ID of the post that you want. So for example, this second post here, we get the ID, we place it in the beginning in here, so that is followed by a question mark, and then what fields do we need? If we run this query as it is, we're going to get this error: tried accessing not existing fields, posts. So posts is not a field of one post. So ID, name, and posts were fields of the user account. So it gives us the ID of the user account, the name of the user account, and the posts. So these are attributes of the user account, but these are not attributes of a post. So for posts, you could have comments. Now this post, the second post, doesn't have any comments. So I'm going to add a comment now. Hey, this is a comment. And then run this query again, submit, and then we have this comments key, and so this is the text of the comment and the ID of the comment as well. So everything has an ID. And of course you can do the same with this get code and put it in Python to access it with requests. Photos now. Well, let's get again me. So with me you get the user ID, and so if you add a slash and write posts and press enter, again this is going to give you the posts and also the photos. So again, try to get the ID of one post in here, and of course in Python you can also iterate over these dictionaries and get all the posts, and then make another loop where you access each post, you grab that ID and access it, and then get the pictures. If you only want the photos though, you can remove posts and write photos. But you also need to add slash uploaded to actually get the list of photos. So now we have the photos, and we also have the description of the photos if there is any. So when you upload the photo as a user on your Facebook account, it gives you the option to enter a description. So that's the description of the photo, and that's the ID of the photo. So let's get this photo, this particular photo. You want to copy that ID, paste it directly in here, and then add the question mark, fields, if you want to give any fields, otherwise just leave it like that, submit, and that will give you that. If you want to get the link of the photo, again you want to add question mark, fields is equal to link, press submit, and that should give you this link. If you click that, it's going to take you to this page. You want to allow the cookies. Try again, yeah. So that's the link of the photo. Now, as you can see, this URL points to the photo page, not to the image file itself. So if you want the actual image, you want to do something else. So let's go back in here, and sometimes you get this error validating access token. The session is invalid. That happens because these tokens are only used for 60 minutes. They are valid for that 60 minutes. Then you want to press that button again to generate another access token. And then we want to run that query again, which was this. So in this new page with this new access token, submit. Oh, I forgot to enter the first number. It's 1. I missed 1 digit. So again, so that's the Facebook page of the image. Now, if you add another field here, comma images, so you see that this interface can also suggest you fields, images, and press on submit. Then you get this. So you have this link, press it. That points you to the actual image file. So there are 2 links actually. One, you have this big image, and one, a smaller image. So with Python, then you can choose to download whichever you want. So next, let's try to download this first image and save it as an actual image file in Python. So first of all, we need to get the code, copy it, place it in the URL variable, clean that part. So that's URL, and this should give us that same dictionary. So now we want to access, let's go again in here, not this one, this one. So I want to look at here because we have a cleaner view of this dictionary. So we want to access the images key. Let's do that. So data is equal to response.text, and if we print just data images, we get this error because data is actually a string at this point. So it's a string. Even though it looks like a dictionary, that dictionary is wrapped inside a string. So we want to convert that string into an actual Python dictionary object. For that, we need to import JSON, and then data will be equal to json.loads, and then we enter data. So data currently is a string, so that data is a string, but it will be converted into a dictionary. So if I print it out now we have a dict. So let's print out the data. It looks the same. As you will see, it's still the same, but now we can access the keys of that dictionary because Python now knows how to parse that object. So that will give us this list, which is basically, yeah, this one in here. That's a list. Now let's get the first item of that list, which is this first dictionary. So the list has 2 dictionaries, this one and that other one. So by applying an index of 0, we get that first dictionary, right? And then out of that dictionary, so we get this one, and then out of that we get the source key, the value of the source key. Source So that gives us the URL, which if you click it, it takes you to that image. Now, next, let's save this URL to an image URL variable, remove the parentheses of the print function, and then what we want to get now is to get the content of that image, the bytes, and we do that with requests.get again, and this request.get now gets the URL of the image URL. So previously it got the URL of that web page, now it's the URL of an image, and we extract the content. So now we want the content, not texts, so we were working with bytes. Images are binary files, they are not text files. And then we open a file locally with open image.jpg in write binary mode as file, and in that new file object we write the image bytes, that variable, and we run the script, and an image.jpg file is downloaded. We click it and we see the actual cat image. So that's how we can get an actual photo from Facebook via Python. And lastly, if you want to see the documentation, you want to go to docs and just hover the mouse there and then go down to Graph API reference. And then here, in this list in here, you'll see all the nodes that you can get. So for example, we worked with photos, so I'm going to search for photos. It's a long document. So photo is something that we got. If you click that, it will take you in here. So if you scroll down, for example, you see a table of fields that you can pass to photos. So in this example here, we passed the link field for photos, but you can pass other fields as you see in this table. So with that, I wanted to finish this video. There's more and more about the Facebook API, and of course I cannot cover it all. The point of this video was to give you some orientation on how to get started with the Facebook API. The things you can do with the Facebook API are infinite, so I hope this helps you to get some ideas, and whenever you need the Facebook API, just click this video to get started. Thank you. See you.